All right, so let's get right into it. Imagine this. You set out to build one thing, but you accidentally end up building the perfect product for a revolution that's literally just about to kick off. Well, that's pretty much the story of Exa.ai. They built a search engine, but it wasn't for you or me. It was for the AIs that are completely changing our world.
And that's a totally fair question, right? I mean, we've got Google, we've got Bing. Why would we need another one? Aren't they good enough? Well, it turns out the way an AI actually searches for information is just fundamentally different from how a human does it.
And this is really where you see that key difference come to life. Just think about how you search. We're kind of lazy, right? We type in a few keywords, click the first couple of links, and call it a day. But in AI, it's completely different. It's hyper-focused. It can write a whole paragraph detailing exactly what it needs, scan thousands of results in a flash, and it only cares about one single thing: getting the absolute highest quality knowledge, no fluff, no ads, just the good stuff.
So here's a crucial point. If you're going to build a search engine for this new kind of user, this powerful AI, you have to build it from the ground up. The choices you make, the way you design it, it's all completely different. Traditional search was built for us. Exacto, it's built for them.
But, okay, here's the real twist in the story. The founders of Exa, they didn't actually set out to build a search engine for AI at all. Nope. Their original goal was to build a better search engine for, let's say, a very specific type of human.
And the timing here is just wild. They launched their search engine for humans, it gets a little bit of buzz on Twitter, and then just 2 weeks later, bam! ChatGPT drops, and the entire world just shifts on its axis. The AI revolution was officially on.
You see, their original mission was actually pretty pure. They were inspired by these early language models like GPT-3, and they just felt that Google had gotten, well, kind of stagnant. So they wanted to build a search engine for nerds, people like them who just wanted the absolute best, highest quality information out there, with no ads, no SEO games, just the real deal.
So, ChatGPT is out, the world is going crazy for AI, and for the folks at Exa, this leads to a massive aha moment. Everything was about to change.
All of a sudden, they start getting these requests for API access to their search engine. And the team was just confused. They're thinking, wait, we built a product for people to use? Why on earth would anyone need an API for it? They actually just dismissed the requests at first, completely missing the giant opportunity staring them right in the face.
And then, the breakthrough. The founders are talking about all these weird API requests, and suddenly, it just clicks. Someone says, wait a second, what if we're not a search engine for humans? What if we're a search engine for AIs? And suddenly, it all made perfect sense. The product they had painstakingly built for nerds was, by pure sheer coincidence, the perfect product for an AI agent. And why? Because it turns out nerds and AIs want the exact same thing: the highest quality, most accurate knowledge you can possibly find. They had accidentally built the perfect tool for this brand new age.
Now, this whole accidental discovery, it was only even possible because Exa had been making a whole series of really bold, kind of unconventional choices right from the very beginning.
I mean, just look at their playbook. Everyone told them building a search engine from scratch was completely nuts, but they did it anyway. They decided to be the infrastructure underneath AI products, not some flashy app for consumers. And get this, this is the most audacious part. They spent half of their seed money on their own GPU cluster to build their own models. Everyone else was just using off-the-shelf stuff, but they went all in.
And you know what? Those bets are seriously paying off. Investors have definitely taken notice. We're talking a massive $85 million Series B funding round. That is a huge vote of confidence, and it gives them all the capital they need to double down on that contrarian strategy and really control their own destiny.
And look, this isn't just talk. Owning the full stack means you have to own the hardware, so they put $5 million of their own capital into building the Exa cluster, a beast with 144 top-of-the-line NVIDIA H200 GPUs. That's the kind of raw power you need to train truly unique models and not have to depend on anybody else. Having all that control lets them offer these really tailored products. So they've got a fast, real-time API for apps that need an answer like right now. But they also have a slower, more deliberate product for these deep research agents that might take a few minutes or even longer to dig up the absolute highest quality information on the planet. So you might be wondering, why is this even necessary? Well, the key difference to understand is this. An LLM, like ChatGPT, it basically knows a compressed version of the web from a specific point in time. It's like a snapshot.
It can't possibly memorize everything. But a search engine? That gives it live, real-time access to the entire, constantly changing web. And that, right there, is why AIs will always need search.
Okay, so what's the end game here? Serving AI companies is just the beginning. Exa's ultimate ambition is, well, it's a lot bigger. It's about achieving something they call perfect information.
Just try to imagine a world with zero friction when it comes to getting knowledge. A world where any piece of information you could possibly need is available to you instantly. That is the future they are building towards. It's about giving all of humanity full, unblocked access to its collective knowledge. So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, think about recruiting. It would mean instantly knowing every single engineer on the planet who is a perfect fit for your job opening. Or for sales, it's knowing about every potential customer the very second they exist. It's about solving these huge, massive information coordination problems that slow everything down today. And there's this quote from the founder that just perfectly frames the scale of their ambition. He says, "We're going to look back at today and think, how on earth did they function without perfect information? The way we struggle to find stuff now is going to seem completely primitive."
So really, the big takeaway here is that Exa is doing way more than just building a tool for AI. What they're really building is the infrastructure for a future where our entire relationship with information is just fundamentally transformed. A future where knowledge isn't something you have to go hunt for, it's just something you have.
And that kind of leaves us with a pretty fascinating final thought, doesn't it? If you had access to perfect, instantaneous information about, well, anything in the world, what's the first problem you would solve?